One thing I'm quite interested to see, if it will arise out of all of that, is claims against rating agencies. That was a little bit of a niche thing that came up after the last financial crisis. It's sort of been dealt with by regulation, and those claims have been quite difficult to bring. But it was quite stark, sort of following the press through the early weeks of the pandemic and constantly reading about downgrades by the rating agencies in really quite difficult times, where you're sort of thinking, well, how have they come to that conclusion? What data are they basing on that on now, where there's such volatility, and frankly, valuing things is a very, very difficult thing to do. This is obviously from the litigator, from the outside looking in, but that's quite fascinating. It'll be interesting to see if people start to look under that bonnet and see what can be done there in terms of potential claims. Obviously, a lot of them will be more backward looking in terms of initial ratings on structures or bonds, for example, that really, once you get to a position of stress, people will think, well, how could you ever have come up with that rating in the first place? And those are the interesting ones, because then investors are genuinely relying on those ratings to make their investment decisions. And